Tom, I'm going to compare your swing to Grant Waite, who was a PGA Tour player during the 90s and was considered by many as having the best swing in golf. He's now one of the top instructors for tour players. I always begin analysis at the impact position, which is the most important position. Everything the golf ball does, how far it goes, how high it goes, how much it curves, is a response to the laws of physics and motion that exist at the fraction of a second when the ball is on the club face at impact. Your club's position is what determines ball flight. Your body's position at impact is what determines the club's position at impact. And everything you do prior to impact has the sole purpose of arriving at a fundamentally sound impact position. One of the most important tasks that you're trying to achieve with your impact position and with your club's position is that you need to have the low point of your golf swing in front of the golf ball at impact. One of the things that helps achieve that is to have your center of your weight, have the majority of your weight on your left foot at impact. The average pro will have 85% of their weight on their front foot at impact. And you can certainly see I've drawn a box around both of you starting at the base of the ankles. That red line is passing right through his belt buckle. He has positioned the center of his body on top of his left foot at impact. And his hands are also on top of his left foot. So he has both his hands in front of the golf ball and his weight in front of the golf ball. You have still quite a bit of weight on your back foot. Your hands are kind of right at impact. You're coming into the golf ball too level here and not down enough. By being too level, you're going to frequently hit behind the ball and also top or blade the ball. You're going to hit it very thin, and you're not going to have that little bump of the ground, and you probably don't hit a lot of divots. Now I want to look at the positions that you were in prior to impact to see what might be preventing you from arriving at this fundamentally sound impact position. Here we are in the one position, the start of the swing. There are some things I like that you're doing here. One is that you do have a shaft lean, just like Grant does, before you begin the swing. So you're positioning your hands in front of that golf ball at the setup. So you're kind of giving yourself a little preview of what you would like to accomplish at impact, and that's good. The box from the ankles up to your head, you can see how Grant has more weight on his left leg than he does his right leg, maybe 55% to 45%. You are not presetting yourself with more weight on your left foot. In fact, you're presetting yourself with more weight on your right foot. So that's going to, you already are starting out with a too far away from your left foot, which is going to make it even more difficult to get onto your left foot at impact. So one of the things that I would like for you to work on is presetting yourself with a little bit more weight on your left foot. The other thing that Grant does that helps facilitate a weight shift to the left is he flares this left foot out a little bit, and you're pretty straight with it. If you could turn that just a little bit, you maybe don't need to turn it as much as Grant has, but if you could turn that foot a little bit, it will facilitate a more comfortable shift to the left foot because the brain doesn't like to roll on the side of the ankle, but it is not resistant to the idea of moving to the front of the foot. Here we are in the 3 position. This is when the left arm is parallel to the ground in the backswing. And Grant has kept his weight on his left leg, so he still has the majority of his weight on his left foot as he rotates back. He's not falling to the right or shifting to the right. He's simply coiling to the right, but he's rotating around a fixed axis on that left side. His head is right on top of his left foot. Now he's not falling to the target or falling to the right foot. He's just basically staying right where he started and just doing a pure rotation. Jack Nicklaus called that just turning in a barrel. So he's not swaying to the right. You have moved quite a bit to the right. You now have your low point of your golf circle way behind the golf ball. Grant still has his low point of his golf circle in front of the golf ball. He has positioned his low point in the same place he wants it to be at impact. And your low point right now is not where you're going to want it to be at impact. You've added a complexity to the golf swing, which now has to coordinate the golf circle itself moving to the left and be positioned correctly at the moment of impact. Grant doesn't have to worry about moving his golf circle back to a good position. He just keeps it in a good position the whole time. So he's going to be much more repetitive and consistent at hitting the ball solid with the low point in the correct place. You can see how you have lifted your left foot up completely off the ground. You will not see 99% of all pros will keep that dead flat at the backswing. Now going to frame advance your swing and up to the top of the swing and start the down swing. This is the 5 position. This is when the arm is parallel to the ground on the down swing. I'm going to take Grant up to the top. Grant's actually moved even more to the left. So when he gets to the 5 position, he has the center of his body that he has almost his belt buckle on top of his left foot at this point in the downswing. And you are still kind of in the center of the box. You haven't really moved that much yet to the front foot. As you continue into impact, you can see how as you hit the ball, your hands are off your back thigh. As I draw a line from the golf ball straight up, Grant's hands are crossing that line before he hits the golf ball. His hands are in front of that line, front of the golf ball. The golf ball itself is still, the shaft is still angling back here. And he's just now hitting the ball. So he's moved his hands well in front of the golf ball before he hits it. And you're hitting the ball at this moment, and your hands are about even with the ball. They did not cross in front of that ball before you hit the ball. So you are basically hitting fairly level here, and Grant is hitting downward. And that's one of the things that you need to achieve in order to improve your ball striking. Here we are on the final position of the final pose. Grant is standing tall on his left leg. His left leg is extended. He's facing the target, and he's off his back foot with only the tip of his toe is touching the ground. You are facing the target, so you've rotated through. That's very good, but you still are falling backwards, and your left leg has not really extended into a tall position, once you can shift your weight more correctly to your left foot, it'll be easier for you to achieve this classic pro finish. And so one of the things that you would need to work on going forward is to how to stay stabilized in both feet, stay flat-footed in your backswing. So as you take it back, you want to focus mostly on coiling and not shifting to the right. Just kind of coil, but stay solid on that left side. And don't let your weight shift to your right foot. There are some drills that I can show you. There's some drills you can do to learn that feeling, and you will have a much more fundamentally sound swing. It'll be a simpler swing, a more compact swing, and you will have a lot more power, a lot more consistent control with a lot less effort.